Alright, so we're going to do something a little bit different in this video. I want to talk about something that's been going around social media like crazy. There's been fights on social media. There's been people arguing and debating about this. I want to get into the $70 price tag for current gen games. I know, a lot of publishers are doing this. A lot of people are doing this. And one of the first ones to do it was Sony's PlayStation. So I'm going to go into everything that's going on, why Sony fans are actually damage controlling this, and why other gamers shouldn't actually make this a precedent that we should be proud of. Let's get into what is going on, why there's these price tags, and if Xbox is actually going to join them. Let's get into everything because there's a lot to talk about. Alright, so you know the drill. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you want to be notified of future content, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. All the support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so finally, we're going to be talking about the $70 price tag on games because I have to say, after seeing this war raging on social media for quite some time, I'm a little bit weirded out by people that are damage controlling that Sony's making $70 only games. I mean, they're even charging $70 for The Last of Us remake, which I know looks insane. They're putting a lot of detail into it, and it looks like a full-fledged remake, yet it doesn't have the multiplayer attached to it, and they're charging more money for it and having less content in the game instead. So I find it a little weird that that's happening, and I find it weird that the industry giants across the whole entire gaming industry are starting to change the price tag on games, and some of them only on consoles. So let's get into everything being reported and actually go into official articles and people talking about this. Here's what the first article has to say. The great video game price debate is actively raging on social media, as an increasing number of publishers officially set the precedent of $70 current gen releases. Players question whether or not these price arguments are warranted. Industry giants like PlayStation, EA, 2K, Activision, and recently Ubisoft have seemingly transitioned to elevated pricing for their biggest upcoming titles. This influx of support from publishers suggests that $70 AAA video games will eventually become the norm. However, a few notable standouts have yet to take the escalated price plunge. For now, Nintendo and Xbox are both clinging to previous generation's $60 price point with their premier first-party offerings. While Nintendo's approach is understandable considering the company hasn't revealed upgraded console hardware, the near future for Xbox game pricing seems less guaranteed. As we trek into the bold industry unknowns, let's discuss the various possibilities for Microsoft's pricing strategies and when we might see Xbox start charging $70 for video games. Now, the first thing I have to talk about is that, EA, PlayStation, 2K, Activision, a lot of the people that have done this and a lot of the publishers that have done this are making $70 the precedent for this current generation. And it isn't just for the consoles, I might add. EA has made it $70 for Battlefield 2042 on PC, which, if you look at what that game has done, that might not have been the best choice. Yeah, it released broken. Yeah, it released with a lot of missing features, but that $70 price point on the PC and on the console just wasn't hitting people. They weren't going to pay that much for that game. And then you look at 2K bringing out all their sports games with a $70 price tag, and again, it's not something I would pay for. Now, as for PlayStation, I do have to admit, I bought their games at $70. I did buy Ratchet & Clank. I am going to be buying God of War at $70, but that's because I can afford that. That is just me personally. I can afford it, and it only depends on the game, but I still don't think it's going to be something I want to be set as a precedent. Yes, I think Sony's not going to turn around because their fan base, which I am part of their fan base. I own a PlayStation 5. I own a PlayStation 4 Pro. I am a part of their ecosystem, but I'm not out there actively defending their $70 price tag. I'm going to be buying God of War. I'm going to be buying other games that I see fit that worthy of that price tag. I haven't bought Horizon. I haven't bought Gran Turismo, and I haven't bought any other first-party games this year because I don't think they're worth the $70 price tag to me personally, unless it's God of War, which is one of my favorite franchises of all time. That's the whole precedent I'm trying to set, is that some franchises I will do it because I just want to play them here and now, and others I'm worth waiting because I don't want to put $70 down. The Last of Us game is not something I'm going to be putting $70 toward. And officially, I'm going to be waiting for that PC release because that's what they're going to be doing from now on. Spider-Man, God of War, all their games are going to be coming to PC at a much lower price. So what does that mean for the fans? Do I think Sony fans need to stop and take a look at themselves and maybe look back and be like, hey, maybe this price change isn't something we should be advocating for on social media. Maybe it's something that we should be fighting against so we can get some $60 games that are out there. Because if you look at everything that was talked about, Ratchet & Clank wasn't possible on any other system because of the SSD and the speed of the SSD and all this other bullcrap they've talked about. And I have to say, I think that a lot of developers are blowing smoke up people's you-know-what. Because so far, a lot of these games can be done on PCs, which don't all have SSD. A lot of these games can be done on the last-gen hardware because, you know what? They have these tricks and these manipulations that they do within the code and within the game design to make it possible. That's what I'm annoyed with, is that now that we have these new next-gen hardware, everybody's like, oh, it just costs a lot more money to make these games and we got to put it $10 up. And I understand about inflation. I understand that the $60 price tag has been there for a very long time. But overall, I don't think every system is going to be impervious to this. And that includes PC, which is said right here. Even the PC ecosystem, which originally seemed impervious to the console-driven price trends, has experienced current-gen inflation. When EA detailed its convoluted pricing structure for Battlefield 2042, critics noted that regardless of having an exact same core features, Xbox Series X and S and PS5 versions were $10 more expensive than PC. The seemingly arbitrary fee was referred to by some as the console tax. However, with the rollout of the $70 price tag for Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade and Forspoken, it would seem PC isn't immune to these changes. And this is where I have to get into this. So right now, if you look at a lot of the $70 price tag games on PC, they are tied to Sony. They are tied to a lot of industry people that have been doing this on their console, so they want to keep it the same across their ecosystem because, as we know, Sony's going to be coming over to the PC very soon. You can tell that from all their first-party games coming out. You can see that. So they want to set that $70 price tag not only on their console, but on the PC because they want to make it symbiotic. They want to make it the same. And it's all about money to Sony. They don't care about anything else. They care about making money and profit on their product, just like every other company out there, including Microsoft and Xbox. Yeah, Microsoft and Xbox might be nice and they might give us Game Pass and all that other stuff, but overall, they care about profits, just like every other company. And that's what's going to happen sooner or later. And you know what? People are talking about Xbox doing the same thing, and we can't judge that yet because Xbox hasn't brought out an exclusive Xbox Series X game yet or an exclusive next-gen game yet. That's going to be next year where we start seeing those. And I want to see what the price tag is, especially since Activision has done this price change. And you're going to start seeing that with maybe Blizzard games, which Xbox is going to own. I don't know. Maybe they take that back and start charging $60 once they have them under the Xbox umbrella. Either way, that marketing strategy might be centered around Xbox, which is brought up right here. With a marketing strategy centered around value-driven services like Xbox Game Pass, Xbox All Access, and Smart Delivery, it's apparent the company appreciates its current price distinction in the market. Players have celebrated Microsoft's commitment to delivering its most impressive games to every supported piece of hardware for no consistent price. Xbox has yet to release a $70 first-party title on its platform. However, outside the console ports of Microsoft's Flight Simulator and Gears Tactics, Xbox hasn't released a current-gen only first-party title. While key figures from Microsoft like Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg have touched on the $70 price points for video games, we haven't received a definitive answer from the team on the matter. Player choice is often cited as the reasoning behind many of the decisions being made by current Xbox leadership. In an interview with Washington Post, Spencer shared this sentiment on the industry's impending price increase. "I know the customer is in control of the price that they pay, and I trust that system." And I do have to agree that this has so far been up to the gamers. If you look at what happened with Xbox, I think it was last year where they tried to charge $120 for Xbox Live, basically doubling the price. Xbox fans, including myself, rebelled. They went crazy, and within 24 hours, if not less than 24 hours, Xbox pulled back on that statement. They said, whoops, that's our bad. It's not $120. It's going to be $60. And in fact, we're going to give you free multiplayer online and all this other stuff. So yeah, I think that gamers across every industry and for every fan base that includes Sony, that they need to start fighting back against this $70 price tag. I already know some people that aren't buying Sony games because of that $70 price tag, and they don't plan to at all because they're making a statement with the only thing they can, which is their wallet. That's what needs to be done. Sony needs to understand that, hey, this $70 price tag isn't what we want. And if Xbox does it, it needs to be the same thing. I don't care if we have Game Pass and we get these games anyways. If the $70 price tag on individual sales is going to happen, that means there's going to be a price tag hike on Game Pass because that just seems natural to me. You're not going to keep one the same and then charge more for the other. That's what's going to happen with Sony. They're going to charge $70 when they come to PC, and PC gamers are going to ream them. They're going to go crazy and start attacking Sony because of that. And if you look at other games like Gotham Knights, It's $70 on the Xbox console and it's $70 on PS5. But when you look at it on Steam, it is only $60. Every single tier of Gotham Knights is actually $10 more if you get it on console. I'm talking about even the deluxe and all the special editions, they're all just $10 more on the console only. That is so annoying to me. Why is console gamers being charged more? I understand that they have a very low entry point in price with $500, which a lot of people on PC spend about $1,000, $1,500, if not $2,000 to $3,000 on their PCs, so they get cheaper games. That's what some of the excuses I've seen online being said. And you know what? I call bullcrap on that, because that's not what people want. That's not what the whole point of this is. The console you pay $500 for so you can get a great piece of hardware that you can just plug and play, and it has convenience. Well, you know what? It's not convenient to pay $10 more for a game, and I think that Sony fans especially need to stop damage controlling this $10 more expensive games, because that's not what we want to see. Sony, maybe change that up. I don't see you changing it because all your fans apparently are all supporting this and not really driving it home to you, and they're not complaining because they feel like they're paying $70 for quote-unquote quality games that they'll pay $70 for no matter what. Talk about just damage controlling everything that Sony is doing instead of fighting back like Xbox fans did when they try to jack up the price of Xbox Live Gold. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that Sony has dominated 2022. They've brought out a lot of first-party games. They've brought out a lot of great content for people to play on. But overall, that $70 price tag just seems like a thorn in the side of everyone, including myself. While the content's great, while I'm looking forward to God of War Ragnarok, it still makes me hesitant on buying a game at $70, especially for an ecosystem I'm not really a fan of. So yeah, you have the games, but overall, you make me want to just wait to get these games on PC, where hopefully they're $10 cheaper, if not a lot more cheaper, and if they're $70 on PC, I'm not going to be buying them on there. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think that Xbox is going to change their price and make $70 first-party games? Or do you think they see the trend of every other publisher doing it and they might join that? Or are they going to be looking at gamers first and thinking, hey, maybe we don't charge $70 for these games because gamers are actually fighting against it? And do you think PC gamers and Xbox gamers are going to fight against this, unlike Sony fans apparently? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button to support us out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been kind of in a gaming slump. I beat Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I beat Outriders, I beat Chorus, I beat Sniper Elite 5. I've beaten a lot of games. I've been playing a lot of games, but right now, I'm kind of chilling. I'm waiting for Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels to drop. I can't wait for that game. I love the Hot Wheels expansion in Horizon 3, so I'm looking forward to this DLC. I think it's going to be massive. Plus, I love that game in general. And I've been jumping into a lot of Blizzard games. Yeah, that's right. I've been jumping into World of Warcraft again. I'm going through the Shadowlands, doing all the raids and looking for raid, and I'm just having a lot of fun with it because I missed a couple expansions, so I'm getting all of these great storylines and these great campaigns that are like 15 hours long, and I'm just going through them with all my characters, leveling up and having a good time, and looking forward to that new expansion that's coming out later this year. I know it's a gaming slump right now. There's not a lot of games out there, especially if you've played a lot of the games that have already come out and you've beaten them because you've kept up with them. But if you're somebody that hasn't played a lot of these things and you have a great big backlog, you get to jump into some new experiences. But overall, I've beaten most of the games I've wanted to beat, so I'm going back and playing some other games that I otherwise would have never played. But let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your Xbox, your PlayStation 5, or are you on your PC playing something? Let me know down below, because that's what we're here for. It's to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.